tanks in there, but Cal, a lot of these Dragoons are pretty highly damaged, but Cal is going to cross that bridge. You can look around at several of those Dragoons have completely lost their shields, but he does get across, clears away a few mines, kills some vultures. But now it's I don't know what he's going to do with that army. It's kind of up there, but since Flash has kind of decided to go towards the 9 o'clock position, I don't think Flash is really all that concerned about that. You can see how he's putting up a supply depot and sent a couple tanks to the north a little bit, and that should be enough to defend against it. Pretty easily, and then Cal's also taking that inside 3 o'clock, going to take the mineral only as well, going to get that would be his 4th base, and it looks like Flash is also going to take his 4th base as well, which is going to be at the 9 o'clock gas expansion, and both these players just macroing up like beasts. We do have Arbiter attack up, and we are going to see some Arbiters here pretty shortly, which is pretty darn fun. We're only about 10 minutes into the game. So we're going to see this is some pretty quick Arbiter, some pretty heavy teching, and I think that's really good for Cal. I mean, you know, he hasn't even pretended like his build has not been at all for any sort of early or mid-game pushes, no early or mid-game wars. So the fact that there is no fight going on means that he's probably in pretty good shape, I gotta think. I mean, he's throwing down a few extra gateways now. Looks like he's timing his macro to fit the game pretty well. Flash hasn't really put on any pressure either, so Cal's pretty happy. I'm sure both these players just macroing up, pretty prepared for what should be a pretty big showdown here. I mean, you give Cal and Flash, two of the top players in the world, no rush 15 essentially, and you're gonna see some pretty fun results. I think we got some vultures there to the south engaging Dragoons, I assume. I don't think anything actually is going on down there. Observer going to the 9 o'clock, going to see this base going up. So Cal understands what's going on now. I think he knows that this is going to be evened up on 4 base pretty soon. So Cal needs to decide pretty shortly. Is he going to go for a 5th base? Is he going to maybe go for a double gas expansion and try and just get a tech advantage? You know, with the double gas expansion, you could go a tech switch to carriers quite easily with all that influx of gas. That is definitely a possibility. If he takes the mineral only, I'd say the 6 o'clock position. I don't know how much a mineral only is really going to help him at this point, to be honest. I would say if he goes and takes the 6 o'clock position, kind of be wasteful maybe even, just because he doesn't need more minerals. Minerals aren't really going to do any more for him at this point in terms of his overhaul strategy. Doesn't look like we have any upgrades yet for a Protoss here. We got 000. I didn't see any forges spinning either. There may be 1 or 2 somewhere. I hope there is, actually, because he's going to need them, because I'm sure Flash is already at 1-0. We've got 1-0, and 2-1 should probably be getting going pretty shortly here. Cal's moving to the top right with a probe, but Vulture's going to scout it out, so he's not going to get that double gas at all. And yeah, it looks like Cal's gonna maybe try and go from this high ground and maybe work his way down a little bit, maybe make sure that these vultures can't get up and stop the tanks from getting up onto that high ground, because you do not want your opponent onto that high ground. That high ground would be very, very difficult for Cal to deal with if Flash can get up there. And you can see that Cal is taking that 6 o'clock, gonna take that mineral only, which, I mean, it doesn't hurt. It's not much harder for him to defend than where he already is. I mean, if he lost that area, his natural would be in pretty big problem anyway. So it seems it's pretty logical for him to take it. Just I'm curious as to how much he's going to be able to saturate it, and then how important it's really going to be, grand scheme of things, versus maybe going for a double gas expansion. Looks like something's going on at the bottom left. I can't tell if that's just vultures or if there's an SCV down there. I think it's just vultures and mines, but there could be an SCV down there, which would be pretty crazy if Flash was already expanding to a 5th base. Terran on 5 bases, like, wow. That's not supposed to happen before any push-outs. Might see a little bit of an engagement here. We got some Dragoons going to clear away some mines, going to take a couple tank shots, and then back right off, and shuttle. We'll see if this is Zealot Bombs or High Templars. I don't know if he... I mean, we know he has Templar Archives because he has Arbiters, but I haven't actually seen any High Templars yet, so I don't know if he has Storm Research. I don't know if he has the gas for it. I mean, he is working off a 3 gas right now, but with all the Dragoons and Arbiters, I think that 2 of those are hallucinations. I don't think he's had time to come up with 3 Arbiters already, so pretty sure that 2 of those are hallucinations, and that we're going to be seeing a big old recall coming in here pretty shortly. Here we go, moving up the left side of the map. We got turrets everywhere, going to pick off one of the hallucinated Arbiters, and the other Arbiters are going to get through, and here comes the recall. Big recall on the 9 o'clock base. We got a lot of Zealots and a ton of Dragoons. We got Zealot Bombs, I think. Yeah, that is going to be for Zealot Bombs, but there's too many turrets, so this Zealot Bombs really aren't going to do too much. And getting right in there into at least some of the front tanks and with the Zealots and the Dragoons are going to focus down this command center. This command center is going to go down at the 9 o'clock position. And where are the Zealots? Are the Zealots going to remain alive long enough to continue defending these Dragoons, making sure that this attack is maximally effective? And looks like we've the Zealots are all dead, so these Dragoons are going to sit here, pick off some more buildings. They got some more SCVs. They're going to get this Comsat station, and we'll see what else they're able to do. I mean, they can't really push out here. Those 2 tanks and that narrow choke are going to absolutely kick his butt if those Dragoons try to push out here. And we got Vultures towards the north, going to be able to take down a couple of these Dragoons. They're trying to throw down some mines, but I don't think the Dragoons really fell from the mines at all. And Cal's sending a small force up here as well to try and deal with. It's still 1-0 upgrades for Terran, and I'm not so sure what there is for Protoss. We still have this Nexus going up at the top right now for Cal, so he's going to try and take a double gas expansion, and we got an Arbiter up there along with some other units, a ton of Zealots, a lot of spam Zealots here for Cal to try and defend this. But it looks like the probe here at the top right has gone down, so we're not going to see any cannons quite yet, which I'm sure is what he wants. We got a couple science vessels here at the 9 o'clock to help take down this the last of these Dragoons, and Flash is going to clean this up very, very nicely. No problems here. He lost that base, which sucks for him. But yeah, I mean, Cal used a lot of resources to take that down, though. So we'll see how this ends up going. I'm sure Flash is just going to rebuild it right away. Nice EMP catch. Oh no, it didn't catch the Arbiter. Really? I thought that caught the Arbiter. Craziness. And Cal pushing in here at the natural expansion. Nice stasis catching all 3 of those tanks. Very, very beautiful. And coming in across the small bridge and coming from the big bridge to the north. And he is streaming right in here into Flash's face, trying to get to these tanks. He needs to micro and take down that tank. Take down that tank. Take down that tank, Cal. Come on, Cal. Take down. Oh, D-Matrix on the tank now. So he's not going to be able to take it down. It's a little bit of a mistake there by Cal. His micro not up to snuff there in that big battle engagement. Taking too many shots, I feel, on supply depots, shooting random vultures, and you know, small mistakes like that, just a few seconds of micromanagement error, and Flash just eats you alive. Like, honestly, Cal was in such a nice spot killing that 9 o'clock expansion. I thought he had a chance to do some damage there and really hurt the heart of Flash's defenses, and then you just see that small little error, and now the game is already turned, because now Flash is on the offensive. He's got the high ground here. He's going to be able to take down the 6 o'clock base. I don't think that there's any way that Cal's going to be able to save it. The 6 o'clock base is pretty much forfeit at this point. Luckily, it's a mineral only, so its importance is, of course, a little bit less. Looks like Cal's going to take this opportunity to push in towards the 9 o'clock position, and we'll see if he goes inside or outside. It looks like he's going to start out by going inside. I hope that there's some High Templar in there. He could just storm the heck out of this, but it looks like no, the Arbiter goes down to turret fire. A little bit sloppy there. Arbiter going down to turret fire. That's unfortunate. No more stasis there, and he could really use a stasis right now. We do have at least one. Looks like they were able to stasis a couple things. There's some High Templar stormage going down there. The shuttle getting picked up by the turrets as well. So these turrets are doing a ton of damage, and some decent storms going off as well. Looks like most of the tanks there to the north have gone down. He used a lot of storms to get rid of them, but I'm sure it's worth it. If he can take down this command center, that would be huge. That would be huge, but no, too many tanks are coming in there. Flash is repairing. This command center is going to survive. I hope that if that Templar has another storm there, he might be able to actually